well, we might as well look towards 2025 if you kind of alluded to it. What do you think of the route of this year's tour? The first week is, well, you could almost say classics focus with starting in Lille. And there's 2 time trials in there, one flat, one up the Périgord, and Mont Ventoux returns as well.
Well, also another fact, this year's Tour de France is 100% on French soil. We haven't had that for a while, I believe. We do not visit Switzerland or Belgium or Luxembourg or Spain or Andorra. None of it. It's 100% in France. It doesn't start with a TT or prologue, just the first stage, bang. And since it starts up north around Dunkirk, it's windy and it's a little bit undulating. What the Tour de France does, again, like it or not, they like to have a little twist within each stage. It's either wind or a stupid tricky little hill in the last, 5 or 10 kilometers, or a little bit of cobblestone, or they go across this piece of road where it's only twice a day dry and the rest of the day it's underwater because of the tide coming in and out. We had that a few times in the Tour de France. So they like their challenges. First stage, Lille Metropole, that should be finishing crashes and wind apart. It should be a massive bunch kick. But then already next one, Boulogne-sur-Mer, that's famous from 40s of Dunkirk because it got a little uphill sprint. So not every sprinter will be there. Stage 3, finishing in Dunkirk, there is the last, I believe, 30 or 32 kilometers open. As soon as you pass Eastberg, there's a little hill, perfect launching pad, and then it's exposed to wind after that. So that is tricky and nerve-wracking. So for the GC riders, every single day in the first week, they got to be alert to the max to not lose time. They cannot gain much time there, but they can lose so much time with a crash, getting caught in the crosswinds, or somebody else crashes in front of you and you be blocked behind it. You don't even have to hit the ground. But if somebody crashes in front of you, the road is blocked, the race is gone. Then we have stage 6, Bayeux via Normandy. That is a lot more hilly than people think. If you add the altitude together, it's almost like a mountain stage. Then you have the stage 7, Mur de Bretagne. We do it twice. The nerve-wracking moment to get into the Mur de Bretagne, because the Mur de Bretagne is actually not much wider than our screen on our laptops. Honestly, it's like 2, maybe 3 riders next to each other maximum if they out of the seat, So to place their GC rider or whatever, to place Mathieu van der Poel in a good position, that will be so much drama and stress before that actually it might be much more interesting to see the first time up the Mur de Bretagne than the proper finish. Because there might be only 25 riders left at the finish line. It's the fight to get there in the first place. So it will be nerve-wracking and it will be stressful for everyone. I like that this year also they do a little bit of a memorial tour. So when we pass to, now where is it? Rouen, there, stage number 4. Rouen, isn't it the birthplace of,
Jeanne d'Arc?
No, Jacques Anquetil?
Oh, okay, it might be as well, yeah.
Yeah. And then via Normandy, stage 6, I believe, we pass at the memorial statue of the first Tour de France winner after World War II. And we pass some historic moments where Greg LeMond laid the base of his future win in the Tour de France. First American to win a stage in the Tour, take the jersey and win the Tour de France. First non-European rider, Greg LeMond. We pass some historic battlegrounds where Laurent Fignon had great success. There is a few moments like that. What I like, but nothing really connected to cycling, I like to start in Saint-Malo, because Saint-Malo is the birth and living place of Robert Surcouf, basically the Francis Drake of France, like a famous sailor, explorer, pirate as well, served a little bit under Napoleon, really successful, did break the British Sea blockade, did break through there a few times, like a really gifted sailor. So I like that, a bit of pirate feeling in the Tour de France with the start in Saint-Malo. So yeah, the Tour has it all. We don't have a team time trial, but we had the comeback of mountain top uphill time trial, whatever you call that in correct English. And that's pretty brutal. 2 kilometers flat in the valley, maybe 3, and then bang, straight uphill. Perfect place to actually for every single spectator, because these riders come by almost at walking speed, one by one, with a large sign with their name and number on the follow-up car. Like a really big sign with the name of the rider and his number. So even if you're not a complete expert and they wear the skin suit and the visor and the helmets, you know exactly who is actually coming past because there's a huge name on the car behind that rider. So perfect place for every single spectator.
What do you think of Mont Ventoux then? Because the last time we had Mont Ventoux was the first battle between Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogačar, really. They did it twice there. Wout van Aert took the win, but here it's nothing and then just up Mont Ventoux.
Yeah, that is basically the first 2/3 of the stage is plain transport from A to B. But then again, it starts to be nervous and stressful for the placing to go into the climb. Mont Ventoux is steep at the bottom in the forest. It's stinky hot because it's covered in the forest. By the time the riders get there, the sun will be burning vertically back on their backs of the riders. Not a little breeze of wind in that forest. It's stinking hot and terrible. So it's important to be well placed that you can negotiate your effort a little bit. If you feel good, you can attack. If you don't feel good, you can slowly drift back a little bit and hope you survive until you actually find your legs again. So placing and positioning is so important there. And then the second half is, it looks like you're on the moon. You know, it's just rocks. You're above the tree line, exposed to the wind. Everybody remembers when we had to cancel the stage in the Tour de France because there was so much wind up there that they had to cancel the stage and lower the finish line by like 10, 15 kilometers. There's images of people standing, holding their bike on the handlebars, and the bike is basically horizontal, flying in the wind. That is how much wind there can be up there. The view up there is priceless because it is not in the Alps. It's on the outside, so you can see the Alps on one side, and I swear, you can almost see half of France on the other side. On a clear day, you can look up to 80 kilometers. If the air is clear, there's no clouds. It is really worth going up there. But, my friends, there's a reason why it's called Le Géant de Provence, the giant of the Provence, because it's fucking hard. It is a long, long ass climb. It's, 18 kilometers or 21 from the one side and 18 and a half from the other side. It is a hard piece of work to get up there.
There's a lot of big stages as well in that final third week. And yeah, you talk about the Giro, very heavy at the back, but which stages are you kind of looking out for? We got La Planche in there as well, not La Planche de Belfi, but La Plagne. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. And
well, back to the Mont Ventoux quickly. I believe it will be a GC day. The yellow jersey, whoever it is, will win there. It's prestigious in yellow winning on Mont Ventoux. The stage is not too long, so I believe really it is a day for the GC leader. They want to control it and they want to keep it together. The stage is 172 kilometers long, and yeah, I believe the yellow jersey wants to win there. There's one. Which one is it? La Plagne, you meant?
yeah, stage 18 and then 19. Quite a combination.
Yep, so stage 19, it's only 130 kilometers long. It's 5 KOMs, and the added climbing kilometers, just with categorized climbs, it is 62 kilometers uphill. 62 kilometers uphill. That is basically from Copenhagen to Malmö. Just all uphill, 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 uphill. That is a hard stage. And there's a slightly uphill start, and only 7 kilometers after the start, you will enter the first big mountain pass. It's one of these days where you will see the entire peloton warming up the home trainers because they'll be terrified of that day. Stage 20 to Pontarlier, that's 185 kilometers long. It's in the Jura, the fourth mountain chain. So they go Massif Central, Pyrenees, the Alps, and the Jura region. They don't do the Alsace or Alsace, like close to the French-German border. They don't do it this time. So 4 mountain change. That's a pretty tough one, but classic for breakaways. And what I like about stage 20, Pontarlier is the unofficial capital of the famous absinthe liqueur. So whenever you win, you might have an absinthe to celebrate. And if you don't win, you might just drink 10 of them to actually forget the misery that the last stage for the breakaway before Paris, you actually didn't win. So, but there's another stage I like a lot. Stage 18, Courchevel, Col de la Losse, 171 kilometers long, 5,500 meters of climbing. Toughest stage in terms of climbing. We go Col de Glandon, Col de Madeleine, and Col de la Losse with 2,300 meters altitude. So almost 3 times, close to 2,000 or above. It is every 12 kilometers it goes uphill. There's like a number, like 12, 13, or 11 kilometers, it's uphill. So it's basically like shark teeth, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's a super hard one. And if you in the yellow jersey, you really have to have a good team around you because you cannot control it by yourself. And if you're 3 riders down, it might be a really golden opportunity for everybody else to attack you because you need your team to help you to control that day because everybody who has a little bit left in the gas tank will attack you for the stage, for the mountain jersey, for the yellow jersey, for the white jersey, for the team competition. There will be hell on earth on that day, I expect. So the yellow jersey can only hope he got his entire team still functioning and around him. And then let's finish the Tour de France. I mean, we can talk about it more. Champs-Élysées stage. No, it's not anymore. They changed it. And I mean, in my humble opinion, it's a mistake. There's no need to do it like that. They can go up that wonderful climb to Sacré-Cœur or Montmartre. Let's start out of Paris, go easy into Paris, drive through the Louvre like always, go up at a relatively neutral speed at Montmartre, go down and then Champs-Élysées, bang, and race the Champs-Élysées. So now when you want to go through that Louvre, but everybody knows 5 kilometers down the road, we got to go up Montmartre. The road is that small. They're gonna race with 60 kilometers an hour through the Louvre. There's cobblestones, there's like little driveways and footpaths. How the hell do you want to organize that? So I don't think it's necessary. The tour is hard enough. You don't need to add more drama on the last day. If you want to have beautiful TV pictures, do it early in the race. People go neutral. They can smile. They can enjoy the view to Montmartre. But don't do it in a race like in the final because it's another GC day. So I don't see the big typical sprinters. I don't see them surviving it. I mean, just remember the Olympics. There were not much sprinters left there. So I don't know. I think it's too hard. The race is hard enough. It's 3 weeks of intense racing. But again, just my private thought. Here's how it happened. Mr. Emmanuel Macron called Prudhomme, the Tour de France, and said, "Hey, Emmanuel, listen, I like the pictures at the Olympics with everybody in the Olympic roadways going up the Montmartre. It shows the best side of our French nation. I want this in the tour." And then the Tour de France director, Prudhomme, goes, oui, monsieur, oui, chef, oui, chef. What can you do? If your president calls you, you go, yes, chef, of course we do that. I honestly, in my private opinion, I don't think it was the first option, the first choice of Christian Prudhomme and the ASO. But if the president wants this road, then what can you do? Because Tour de France still gets a lot of tax money in support as well, right? So, yeah, you got to make the big boss happy.
Yeah, you are right, though. We're not going to see, if it's close between, let's say, Jonas Vingegaard and Tadej Pogačar, if there's a minute, like, none of them are going to be relaxing and champagne before the stage. Yep. You're right. Yep. It's a GC day.
And to make it even worse, the last stage finishes, if Paris is here, the last stage finishes like out of our screen on the fucking Swiss border at 4 p.m., at 5 p.m. And they got to cover 500 kilometers to be next day in Paris to be racing. And no, it's not relaxed and burgers at night and pizza at night because the next day is relaxed sprinter day. No. It's another big GC day in Paris. So that adds so much more stress. They gotta eat healthy, drink their water bottles and whatever, have a flight transfer at night or early morning. It adds so much extra stress. I don't see it being necessary.